Welcome to our Make Money Monday. If we have not yet connected, I am Becky Launder, CEO and co-founder of Modern Direct Seller, and I am live every Monday, 9 a.m. Pacific, noon Eastern, with a money-making tip to help you grow your direct sales biz faster. So definitely follow, mark this one so you can come back to it, because today we're talking a little bit about why getting bookings or getting yeses to parties is harder than it probably ever has been before. So I promise I have some good news in all of this, but we're going to talk a little bit about why things have shifted and what you can do as a direct seller to still get things on your calendar. So I am really excited you are joining us today. And as you're popping in, make sure you say hello. Let me know what direct sales companies are in the house. I'd love to hear what you have going on in your business. And if you find today's tip valuable, definitely click that share button and share it with your team or your biz besties, someone that also is feeling the pain of, gosh, it is just a lot harder to get people to say yes to hosting a party with you than maybe in the past. So with that said, I am going to go ahead and share this in a couple of different places. We are live on we're live on YouTube. We're live on LinkedIn. We are live on Facebook. And within Facebook, I'm going to share this. We have two groups. We have our Modern Direct Seller community, Digital Strategies for Direct Sellers. That is a free group. You can definitely come pop in and hang out with us over there. And then also sharing this inside our academy for our incredible Academy members. Love spending time with all of you. We have, I think, an office hours coming up tomorrow. Last week, we did our content lab. We just have a lot of goodness packed inside the Academy. And before I get started, I am going to mention that we do have a special event coming up this week. It's actually happening on Thursday, so you still have time to sneak in. And it is with our sister company, Oh My High. And we're talking all about why every direct seller needs a website. So if you've been a little website curious or thinking that maybe you're sending leads to your company replicated site and you're not seeing conversions, you may be missing this step in between. And I'm excited to share more about it in Thursday's workshop. It's totally free. And best of all, we're giving away a free website. How dreamy would it be to win yourself a website this week? So come hang out with us over there as well. Okay, so let's get to it. Let's talk a little bit about getting bookings and getting a yes for people to, say that they'd like to host with you. So I remember back in the day, like I'm going to age myself a little bit here, but I know some of you remember the good old days when we were running a lot of Facebook parties. Everyone was hanging out on Facebook. We were setting up a group, or way back when, setting up an event and inviting people into that group. And that is where we would share information about our product and our business, and people would buy things. It was as simple as that. Do you guys remember those good old days? Well, here's what's happened since then. We definitely saw a lot of traction with Facebook parties during, I'd say, 2020, 2021, even 2022. We still had some success over there on Facebook. But the reality is that we were in the middle of a global pandemic and people were home and they weren't going out as much. And so they were hanging out on social media. Since then, a couple of things have happened. One, thank goodness we are getting out of the house again. But two, there's also been a rise in short form video. So I don't know about you guys, but I love scrolling my reels, my TikToks, looking to see what's, quick and snippety little pieces of information that I can gather. So rather than people going into a Facebook group to be entertained by a direct seller that's offering products and games and all these different activities to try to capture new customers, people are just, they're scrolling social. They don't have that same attention span that they used to. And the other thing that's happened in the last 5 years or so is the e-commerce online shopping experience has just gotten easier and easier and easier. So what I mean by that is we don't always need an entire Facebook party to educate us on the products that we're interested in. We can go to a website, click the link, find what we're looking for, add to cart, and check out. So there's been a lot of changes in the way people are shopping, which therefore requires you as a direct seller or a social seller or even an affiliate or an ambassador to adjust the way that you are selling. So when we need to think about what's working here in 2026, if you have the luxury of still having a party plan model attached to your direct sales company, meaning that you have the privilege of giving out host rewards when somebody says, yes, I will introduce you to my group of friends, then you got to lean into that because that's essentially free money, right? For companies that don't have a host rewards program, any kind of incentive for people to refer others or host a party is coming out of their pocket. So if you have a host rewards program, lean into that. That is an incredible perk of the business. And when we're thinking about how to entice people to say yes, we really have to kind of meet them where they're at and how they like to shop today. So let me give you my kind of point of view of how people like to shop these days. I think we have a younger generation that just wants to click and buy. Right? We see it on TikTok Shop. We see it even on Instagram, Facebook, right? There's a link, you click, you buy. You really don't need a whole lot of conversation. They're just ready to go. We also have a group of people that really value that concierge level service that you provide as a direct seller, where you can say, oh, let me help you find the best fit. Let me help you find the best style. Let me help you find the best product. Let me give you the best supplement, whatever that might be for your business. Some people really value that customer service and that back and forth and that human touch is literally never going to go away, right? We got incredible advancements in AI. We got great technology out there, but that relationship building and that connection that you create with your people, that is unmatched. We want to keep that part of the experience of people that are shopping with you. Then we also have people that maybe have kind of grown up with the Facebook party or they've grown up attending group selling events where they're like, this is fun. I get to bring people together. Well, when we bring people together, it can't just be a shopping event anymore. It can't be a click here, go buy that. It really has to be an experience for people. So what is that value you can offer your customers to create a really cool experience for them and their friends? That's where we're getting yeses. When it's something unique, something different, something customized, something that they really get to experience, they're not just listening to you pitch products and flip through a catalog. So think about what that is for your business, right? I think about those that have skincare products. So maybe you're doing, like a show and tell where you're showing people how to do a smoky eye, or maybe you're selling food products. Maybe you're doing a class where you're teaching people how to meal prep. Maybe you're selling jewelry and you're doing a styling session and telling everyone to bring their favorite top and then matching it to that, right? So you want to create these kinds of experience for people. So you do have a host that's like, yeah, I want to bring my people together. Now, here's the other thing that's working, right? I am a digital marketing girl. I love the online space. And I mean, clearly, I'm here. That's what I'm all about. I do think that there's a little bit of a resurgence of in-person events. So if you're able to get out of the house and do a vendor event, a pop-up event, or an in-home event for people, that's kind of a sure thing. People are going to show up and they are going to shop with you. Yeah, you can't hide behind your computer. You do have to put yourself out there to do that, but that's really working for people. So lean into that, right? When we think about the digital space, we have an entire training called Party Like It's 2026, where we're sharing 5 different party strategies that are actually working right now for people. So here's the spoiler alert. We're not calling it a party. We're not asking for a host. We are simply leaning into that group selling model, right? That's what we're all about, is how do we get one of our customers to introduce us to a new group of customers? And there's lots of ways to find new customers, but I'm telling you, when somebody is able to validate like, oh, she's the real deal and she's got good stuff, okay, then they're going to invite their friends and their friends are going to believe them and be much more likely to shop. So a couple of ways you can do that. You could do a referral program where that host is referring their friends. That's a simple referral program. You could do a text experience. We're seeing great success leveraging text marketing as a way to reach people. They don't have to fight the algorithm. They don't have to hope that it lands in their feed. They don't have to, go to their Facebook and join a group and go show up at a certain time. Like, they don't have to do any of that, right? Text is being delivered directly to their phone. Now, as a direct seller, you're gonna have to work a little bit harder to build that relationship because it is over text. They don't have the context. They don't see what you did over the weekend. They don't see the things that you like. They don't see what you post. You don't get as much of a chance to share your personality. So you have to be a little creative about that. Maybe you're sharing short form videos in that text experience. Maybe you're doing a personalized welcome message to your guests in those text experiences. But text is another great place to play. The other thing that I really love is the opportunity to collaborate with people, right? So think about who has a similar audience as you, not a competitive product, but a similar audience, and think about how you can collab. Can you do a live video together? Can you do an email swap together? Can you do a blog post together? Can you pop into their community and they pop into your community, right? So think about collabs or partnerships as another way for you to get in front of new audiences, because ultimately that is the goal. The other option that I'm loving is leveraging a scroll and shop or a pop-up shop type of experience on a landing page. We have lots of training on how to do this. If you're using Oh My High, it's easy because we have templates for this, but people are going to RSVP through a form. That's your guests that are coming. And then that's going to unlock access to an event where they can see pictures and they can see captions, very much like a Facebook party, where they can scroll through with a button to shop at the end. They can do this at their own time. And if they want to go straight to shop, let them go straight to shop. I think sometimes we feel like we have to put on these big productions, but I want to make a bet that maybe like half of your audience just wants a link and they just want to go to your website and they want to get what they want. So don't make them jump through a whole bunch of hoops. We got to meet people where they are at and then provide excellent customer service around it. So if you're feeling like you're in a rut, that you're not getting bookings, you're not getting hosts to say yes to you, this is kind of this is a message to you that yes, it is harder right now. And yes, it is still possible. We just have to modernize the ways that we're connecting with people. We can no longer be reliant on that old Facebook party. We've shelved it. It was great while it lasted. And this is your sign to look forward, right? What are your opportunities? What ways can you create experiences? What can you offer for people to make it an easy yes for them to have a link and go share it with their friends? So this may require you updating some of the messages you're sending out. I've been spending a lot of time with many of my Academy VIP members thinking through the words to say, right? So if you're using that same booking script that you've been using for a long time, inviting people to host a party, you're probably not seeing much success with it. So updating the verbiage that you're using, update your energy around it, even leveraging a little bit of like, hey, I'm testing something new. Would you like to give this a shot? Can we partner up together? I'd love to collaborate with you. What do you think about hosting a pop-up shop and sharing a link with your friends? Right? So there's lots of different words that you can kind of play around with, but I'd get away from saying party. I'd get away from saying host. I'd get away from that Facebook group and really reinvent the way that you're doing group selling. Because the reality is group selling still works and is one of the fastest, easiest ways to introduce yourself to new people, especially if you are one of those people that are like, I am not going to go stand for 10 hours at a vendor event. You got to lean into this group selling model and keep getting those bookings. But you also need to be really aware that we have to bring in new people. So if you're doing text parties, all right, I see a couple of you out there that are doing text parties and you're only doing it with people that are already on your text list or that are already customers, then you're missing the boat on this. That's not the point. I'd love that for, get a little bit more sales every month. Absolutely. But we still have to leverage a strategy that's introducing you to new people. And if you're not introducing yourself to new people, then your business is going to be stagnant. So if you have host rewards, if you have a party plan model, if you're leaning into parties, there are many ways to do it here in 2026, but you're going to have to freshen up your strategies. So that's my soapbox moment today, friends. Bringing the fire this morning. So good to see all of you. I hope you have an amazing week. For my Academy members, I will see you tomorrow for office hours. And for the rest of you, I hope you can pop in to that workshop on Thursday for a chance to win a free website. And I should mention, there is a link in the caption of this video that takes you directly to our Party Like It's 2026 training. You can unlock that for just $15 for your first month inside the Academy. So if you're listening and you're like, great, but break it down for me, give me the words to say, give me the templates in Canva, help me really wrap my head around how I can take these ideas and apply them to my business, you're going to want to snag that training. All right. I hope you guys have a great Monday, and I look